All right, good morning. Continuing our coffee and sports, pen and paper football, the Patriot Football League Week 5. This is the final game of Week 5. This is the game of the week. We have the Columbia Coolers at 3-1 come in to face their arch, brand new upstart in their own market, the Carolina Devilfish. Owned by Antoine. So we have Dell's team and his co-worker Antoine. So they give them something to talk about, something to talk smack about at work. Anyway, Columbia Coolers come in here, the most successful franchise in the history of the Patriot Football League, with 126 victories and only, I don't know how many losses, 79 losses in their career. They have 8 championship titles, including back-to-back champs over the last 2 years. This is a formidable franchise. They have been a founding team, founding member for 27 years, and they are not a team to take lightly. Dale Branham announced in a press conference earlier this morning, to shocking his coach Jack Shaw, all of his players, that Columbia is set to relocate and move to Colorado at the end of this season. So they have Dale Branham one-ups the news about the big game by shocking all the fans in the Carolina market, saying he is going to pull up stakes and move to the great state, the beautiful state of Colorado. And it'll be interesting to see how it affects the morale of these players and coaches, as they've just been told next year they're all going to be selling homes and buying and moving across country. And there you have it. Columbia features one of the best quarterbacks in our history. Kingfisher has got two rings, back-to-back MVPs, back-to-back PFL MVPs. Kingfisher. So he is the man to stop today. They are 2 points over average, so they're a very good offense. They are average on defense, and they're not going to help you on the defensive side of the ball. And again, they share the minor market with the Carolina Devilfish. However, Carolina, for an upstart brand new team, they are 3-1, and they are absolutely showing that they deserve to be here in this league. They feature Buick, who is putting on a show this year. He has thrown 8 touchdown passes in the first 4 weeks. He's averaging 2 TDs a game. They have a solid back in Arnie. O'Hanahan, the best wide receiver in the league over the last few years. Remember, the Carolina Devilfish, despite them being a new franchise, they're technically not. They are the Plattsburgh Platypus relocated. So they have all the players and coaches, and they have all of the records, league records, that they would carry over, but they are technically have moved in to Plattsburgh is up and moved into the Carolina minor market and has up into the Dale Branham's cart, and so he's packing up his bags and going to Colorado. Anyway, they have Buick. This team is one of the winningest teams. They're the second winningest team in the history of our league, and they have never won a championship. So, what can I say? I don't know how in 27 years in a small league, they have, as good as they've never been able to win. Well, they can point a finger at the Columbia Coolers, who have had their number in every one of those chances that they did have to win a title. They're coached by Doug Harrington, a run-and-shoot coach. They clearly throw the ball around the pitch. We're going to see what they do today. Again, they are a plus 12, puts them 3 points better than average on offense, and their defense is 2 points better than average. I said last year they would win the title. They went 5-0, but lost to Columbia in the playoffs. I'm sticking to my guns. I believe they're going to win the championship this year. And if they don't, I will be absolutely shocked. Let's check the weather. If I roll a 1, it's poor weather. Yep. Wow, that's 2 weeks out of 5 that the weather's been poor here in Carolina. Holy cow. So weather is poor. Now that can be rain, wind, who knows, but -1 to both teams. Injuries. If I roll a 7, Columbia will suffer an injury. Nope. If I roll a 7, the devilfish will suffer an injury. Yes, so the devilfish come in here with somebody hurt again, and then it's just simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who's injured? 5. Oh, Leary, they're big linebackers. So the Carolinas linebacker, O'Leary, he has not actually done much in the box scores over the last few weeks. He might have 1 or 2 points total in 4 weeks. But either way, he's out. That's another -1 for Carolina. Holy cow. All right, so we have the Columbia Coolers at 11 versus, let's see, 11 versus 11 is 0, but -1 due to weather. Columbia will be at -1. Carolina is 12 versus 9 is +3, minus weather, +2, minus injury, +1. Carolina will have only a 5% advantage thanks to injuries and weather. And so Del Branham has got to be happy to hear that. First quarter is about to get started. We only have 14,652 in attendance, despite Carolina Devilfish owning 2 markets. Only 14,652 are in attendance. That's about half the size of this stadium. So for some reason, you would think, being the 2 Carolina teams, the premier Columbia Coolers, it is clear the weather has kept some people away. And it might be that little press announcement early in the morning to the media that they were moving to Colorado has alienated this Carolina market, and nobody wants to come support Columbia would be beloved down here. Carolina may be in the market, but there's no way the winningest franchise with 8 championships, 2 back-to-back titles, and the face of the league in Kingfisher at quarterback, that these fans would not be thrilled to see 2 teams, but certainly Columbia, even so-called on the road, since they're both sharing the similar state. The problem here is the announcement that Columbia was moving to Colorado at the end of the season probably pissed off any and all fans that would have come to this game, and the weather makes it easy to stay home. All right, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and roll the die. If I roll odd, Columbia gets to choose whether they want to roll first or second. No. So Carolina wins the toss, and their offense is fantastic. They're going to take the ball. They want to prove something with the first opening moments of this game. They want the first quarter. They want to dominate the first quarter. They have a +1 to this roll. Good luck, gentlemen. May the best team win. 7 + 1 is 8. They're shut out. The Columbia Cooler defense rises to the occasion and forces punts. So Carolina, in this weather, maybe it's a heavy, ugly, rainy day, or maybe it's, you've got an imminent hurricane along the coast coming on, and so the weather's poor. But Carolina musters nothing. Del Branham in the owner's box. Of course, the camera likes to pan up to the owner here, Del, as he's always been a character in this league. And the Columbia Coolers go to work with the best quarterback in football. 16 -1 is 15. Touchdown. And it's going to be a 17-yard rip by their fullback, though. So Columbia's fullback, 17-yard run. Again, their captain's not scoring big numbers. But, folks, the Coolers score 7 to a house full of boos. And what's here rains down boos upon the Columbia Coolers after that touchdown. I would like to say it's because they're in Carolina's house, but I think it's because they're moving to Colorado and has PO'd the local lot. Holy cow, here we go. The Carolina Panthers go to work in the second quarter, down by 7. Oh, +119. They're going to score 7. We got us a ball game, folks. A 76-yard return. So technically that would have been coming off one of Carolina's kicks. And it's because it's 76, I'm going to say it's a punt return. Holy cow, Keith. So at some point during the first quarter, Carolina would punt the ball away, and Keith would return a punt return, 76 yards, PAT. So thank God for special teams, because sometimes the weather's too bad for your quarterback to get going, and Carolina scores on a 76-yard punt return. The Coolers reeling on special teams. They're going to end up, they're going to end up with a field goal. And this is going to be Klein, who almost cost them the league title. by missing a PAT in that game. It's going to be a field goal of 30 yards in this weather. Very nice. And folks, Columbia is going to be up by 3 at the half, 10-7. And Columbia has to start the third quarter, so they get to roll first. Here we go, folks. They have a little pep talk. Jack Shaw is a balanced coach. Jack Shaw is a balanced coach. He is technically, in his career now, 6-1. Today would make him 7-1 and a champion. So he has proved to be the perfect fit for this Kingfisher offense. Columbia comes out of the tunnel after a pep talk by Jack Shaw. Tells them, hey guys, we're winning. You got these guys. And remember, they came into our house. You're going to have to put all worries aside of relocating your families to Colorado and play football today. They snapped the ball 16-1 touchdown. So Columbia gets in the third quarter a 13-yard pass. So there it is, Kingfisher, the first quarterback to score today, with a 13-yard pass to, again, a unnamed player, but it doesn't matter. The points are all that matter. Touchdown, Kingfisher, showing why he is the league's most valuable player. And the Carolina Devilfish go to work. +1, 12. They're going to score a field goal, so they're trying to hang in there. A 39-yarder for Taylor. So Taylor, in poor weather, they trot him out on the field, and despite the weather, hammers home a field goal. But folks, they're chasing demons here. It is 17-10. Carolina now in the fourth quarter. Columbia goes first. Here we go. Can Kingfisher put icing on this cake and walk out of here with not only, by the way, I forgot to mention, they're playing to wrest control of that market. So if they win this, so there's like a pink slip on the table. If Columbia wins this game, they will steal the Charlotte market. And if they beat them again later in the year, they'll retain that market and they'll rack up all that money before they move to Colorado. So it's I forgot, they're playing to steal away that market. And here we go. Columbia rolls. It's going to be 16-1 touchdown. And it's the running back. There he is, Newman, the old vet, getting the job done, gets an 8-yard run. PAT is good. And folks, that puts Columbia at 24-10. They need to score double digits. They cannot possibly score enough. But if I roll a 20, they'll score at least double digits. 13 plus 1's 14. It's a touchdown for Carolina, but they're not going to get enough. The crowd here booing Columbia as they win this game, but a fullback. So their fullback gets a 31-yard run, and the crowd erupts in a hell of a cheers as Carolina has become this state's team, as it's clear what few fans showed up in this weather who had loved their Columbia Coolers have decided that Carolina is their new team. And there it is, folks. Despite a loss, the crowd in full throat for that late touchdown. 24 points for the Columbia Coolers. 17 points for the Carolina Devilfish. But Columbia Coolers go to 4-1. Carolina falls to 3-2. And today is 10-11, I think, 25. And there it is, folks. Kingfisher gets a touchdown drive. Carolina scores their Columbia gets a big run to a hell of booze. There's a punt return for a touchdown. Klein gets a field goal, makes it 10-7 at halftime. Kingfisher drives down to put icing on the cake, really puts the pressure on this Carolina team. Taylor kicks a long field goal. Newman, though, caps another brilliant drive by Kingfisher on an 8-yard run. And the Carolina fullback tears off a 31-yard touchdown, but it is too little too late as Columbia is going to take home. Columbia takes control of the Charlotte market, right? And obviously there's a chance for Carolina to win back that Charlotte market in their next head-to-head game. They'll play each other twice this year. That's the first game. And Columbia right now proves they are the kings of the league still as the as the back-to-back champions. And now they are proving it 4-1 that they are right there with Northborough for this division. And more importantly, they have stolen the Charlotte market, which means they're going to collect a lot of. If they can continue to play well and retain that market, they're going to make a lot of money before they move to Colorado. All right, folks, thanks for watching. This has been the Game of the Week, Patriot Football League Week 5, between the Columbia Coolers and the Carolina Devilfish. And congratulations. Bye-bye.